welcome back. I hope everyone is okay. Today outside it was so raining just before I came from my class, and I'm really so tired, but I will go to the gym. Before starting, it's just a warm-up session, and today I want to talk about something that requires care. How should we read Native American studies? So not just what is Native American studies, but how we approach it. Because this is not simply a literary category. It is not just another academic field. It's a field grounded in land, sovereignty, survival, and living communities, right? And that changes how we read. It is not just another minority literature. One of the most common mistakes is to approach Native American literature as if it were simply another ethnic or minority tradition within American literature. But Native American studies is fundamentally different. Why? Because it is rooted in the question of sovereignty. It is about nations, plural. It is about indigenous peoples whose political and legal status predates the United States. So when we read Native American texts, we are not just reading about identity. We are reading about land, about treaties, about colonial violence, about survival, about continuance. This shifts the framework completely. So another common misunderstanding is to retreat indigenous cultures as historical, as something belonging to the past. But Native American studies insist on presence. Indigenous communities are not relics of history. They are contemporary, dynamic, intellectual, artistic communities. So when we read Native American literature, we should resist the urge to romanticize or fossilize. We should read with attention to modernity, to urban life, to political activism, to language revitalization. So, I also think it is important to talk about positionality. As scholars, especially those who are not indigenous, we must ask, from where are we reading? What frameworks are we bringing? Are we imposing Western critical models without questioning them? Native American studies often challenges Eurocentric concepts of authorship, time, and narrative structure. For example, storytelling traditions may not follow linear temporality. Land may function as a living presence, not a backdrop. Community may matter more than individualism. If we insist on reading only through Western theoretical categories, we risk misunderstanding the text. So, humility is essential. One of the most powerful contributions of Native American studies is the centering of land. Land is not symbolic, it is relational. It carries memory. It carries responsibility. In many indigenous worldviews, land is not property. It is kin. That challenges one of the core assumptions of settler colonial societies, the idea that land is a commodity. When we read Native American literature carefully, we see how narrative and geography are inseparable. And this invites us to rethink how literature itself functions. Another important principle is that we should not extract theory from indigenous texts without recognizing the intellectual traditions they belong to. Too often, academia consumes indigenous knowledge while ignoring indigenous scholars. So, reading Native American studies responsibly also means reading indigenous critics, historians, and theorists. It means acknowledging that this field is not just about text, it is about living intellectual sovereignty. So, why this matters in American literary studies? Native American studies fundamentally reshapes how we understand American literature. It disrupts the narrative of American innocence. It forces us to confront settler colonialism not as background history, but as an ongoing structure. And this is uncomfortable, but discomfort is productive. It opens space for ethical reading. As someone trained in American literature, I have come to understand that Native American studies is not a supplementary addition to the canon. It changes the canon. It changes the timeline. It changes the framework. And it reminds us that literature is always entangled with power. Reading Native American texts requires patience, contextual awareness, and respect. It requires us to listen more than we received, more than we interpret. And perhaps that is the most important shift from mastery to attentiveness. So, how we should read Native American studies carefully, historically, politically, relationally. And above all, with the awareness that we are engaging with living nations, not abstract teams. Thank you so much for thinking with me. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.